trainers, welcome back to Pokemon Deck Check. I would be the Poke Dad. And I'm without the Dance Bear. But I've got y'all, and y'all have got me, and together, I think we can push through this without him. So, on today's menu we have Aegislash. Very interesting new card from Unified Minds. So let's dive into it. 4 Honage, 3 of the Dawblades, and 4 of the Aegislash. We'll get into the ability here in a sec. 3 Jirach, a sleek 1/1 Zeb Striker line, and then a versatile Ditto Prism. So obviously we want Jirachi to get that Stellar Wish ability going full steam ahead. But we also have an interesting Honage. Something to point out, for a colorless, you can search your deck for an item and put it into your hand. And why is that good? Because we can go straight into grabbing a rare candy, dust stone, or a search option, whatever you want. So it does bring a lot of value to the table having it into the active if you're not able to get Jirachi into the active. Let's go over Aegislash's stats here. We got 130 HP, weak to dark. Very, very nice. Good stuff. Also resist fighting, which is never a bad thing. Now the ability, if it is knocked out, discard all cards attached and put it back into your hand. So you could put your entire evolution line straight back into hand. Very, very awesome ability. It's immediately when I saw it, I'm thinking Trevenant with like Rescue Scarf, and you can just streamline attackers consistently. A lot of value being brought to the table there. The attack, however, not 100% sold on it. Just think how ridiculously good this card would be if it had like Trash Lance's attack with the 20 times each item in your opponent's discard. But this is just 10 times the items in your discard. So you have more control over it than just playing around what your opponent's doing. But you can only have 13. So you can only do a maximum 130 damage with the one colorless energy. So you are going to be a little short of knocking out Mewtwo, Mew, Tag Team GX, but we do play Shrine. So there's a very nice option to get that last tick of damage, take your 3 prizes. So it's definitely going to be extremely favorable against any sort of Mewtwo, Mew toolbox deck, or if they start anything with Psychic or any sort of Malamar variant, I would say this is going to be fairly favored against that. Other tech options that could be worthwhile as far as Pokemon, maybe you could up the Zeb Striker line. I don't like Weezing in this deck. I'm liking Weezing less and less since I had the heartbreak news of Counter Energy is no longer in rotation. So I'm liking Weezing less and less and less. But however, I could see a slim Weezing line make its way into this deck. But I think right now, this is definitely no fat. It's trimmed down. It's sleek. It's slim. And it's consistent. So, that's it for the Pokies. Pokies. Items. Of course, we're playing Mysterious Treasure. Why wouldn't we? We also play a couple Poke Comps to get that Zeb Striker or Jirach. 3 Acrobikes for thinning. 3 Dust Stones for acceleration into Aegislash. 3 Rare Candies as a very good option. 3 Spell Tags. 2 Escape Boards. 2 Switch. to reset stamp, and then an adventurer's bag. Adventurer's bag bringing a lot of versatility. You can grab the spell tag. You can grab the escape board. So I mean, it's either play a third escape board or a fourth spell tag, or just play an adventure bag, and you can get exactly what you need. Something of note. There was a little bit of confusion with Aegislash's ability, how it interacts with spell tag. And we do have confirmation that's why we've been kind of waiting on this deck until we had 100% confirmation. Because the way Aegislash reads is you discard all cards attached and you put it back into your hand. And spell tag, we weren't sure if it would activate the second Aegislash is knocked out, or whether Aegislash's ability would take action first and put this into the discard. So there was a little bit of confusion there, but we do have 100% certainty, clarification. Spell tag will activate if Aegislash is knocked out. So that makes the deck that much better. There's your last tick of damage on Mewtwo, Mew GX to get that 3 prizes. Very, very awesome. So, I feel like everything else is pretty well standard. I mean, you have a heavy retreat cost, so you need mobility with the escape board or switch. So, yeah, I feel like everything's pretty clear. Dust Stone to help you accelerate into what you need. Little Honage can grab that rare candy if needed. So yeah, looking good. Trainor or supports. This is an Elm build because we're having to search out possibly a stage 1, stage 2. That puts a lot of strain on the mysterious treasures, and so you want to try to take a lot of that pressure off, and Elm gets that done pretty nicely, because I mean, you want to streamline attackers, and if you have a bunch of Honage on your bench and your Aegislash, then you can straight away evolve to your next set. That's why it's good to have a nice blend of rare candy and dust stones. So definitely liking the Elm in this sort of build. 3 Lily, and then of course, surprise, 3 Cynthia. Not looking to play Hapu in this deck. I don't see a reason for it at all. Very limited on supporters. You'll notice that we don't play any sort of custom catch or anything like that. We've opted for streamlined consistency across the board. So, yep. That's what we got. Elm just helps take the pressure off of Mysterious Treasure. So, 3 Shrine of Punishment. Already talked about that. You gotta have some extra damage because you are maxed out at 130 unless you're hitting Psychic Weakness. Spell Tag, I mean, technically that could give you up to 170, so you could knock out a Dedenne. And then Shrine Tick, you're hitting Blacephalon GX for a 1-hit KO with Spell Tag. So, definitely think Shrine has a permanent home in a deck like this. The energy may seem awkward here. We got 4 Recycle and 2 Psychic. Psychic's good if there's Viridian Forest. You can immediately grab a Psychic energy. That way you're not whiffing attacks. A lot of decks do play Viridian Forest, so you're going to be able to take advantage of that with the 2. I would not recommend cutting these 2 energies for that purpose. I would not operate this deck on just 4 Recycle energy. Okay? And I see the theory of why you would, because once it's in play, if it gets knocked out, then it just goes straight back into hand, so you constantly have an attachment. But you could get into situations, because it is a stage 2, kind of clunky. However, this stage 2 is pretty well streamlined. it still can kind of get awkward because you can't thin it enough to for sure hit the recycle. Like the Zorak decks, you can thin those pretty gosh darn easy with the trades, and you're seeing a lot of cards to get into your DCEs. Not so with this deck. Better to have for sure extra 2 energies that is Viridian Force searchable. So that may seem awkward, but I think it's better to have 2 more energy than not enough. You know what I mean? So at least that's our thinking on it. I would rather not be struggling to find energy than to have a whole bunch in my hand. I would, which you're not going to have a whole bunch since you're only playing 6. But where is it in the format? Obviously, any sort of Mewtwo, Mew toolbox, you're going to put a beating on them. Anything else weak to Psychic? There might be better options as far as like Malamar spread. I think you can go toe-to-toe pretty well with Baby Blacephalon. The Aerodactyl decks are going to give you problems because you're kind of struggling to one-hit KO them. Just kind of, right now, honestly, unsure of its spot in the meta. Okay? We need a little more time. It should be in the 20-deck tournament. And so we'll get a better feel for where exactly it falls in the meta. Against Charizard, you can 2-shot it. They're 1-shotting you. So that matchup seems definitely okay. Same with Pikarom. That matchup seems alright too. I'm not saying this is favored. I'm just saying on paper, in theory, if you're 2-shotting their 3-prize attacker and they're, so they take out 2 of your Aegislashes, you're still +1 in prizes. So I could definitely see some advantages there. Whether, but then again, you're playing the stage 2, and it could be consistency issues. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see where it lands in the tournament. And I believe this is the last profile we have to do. And so that means tonight at 10 o'clock, we go live. 10 o'clock Central Time with our 20-deck tournament. And y'all will be able to help select which 20 decks are going to for sure be in it. So looking forward to that. And with that being said, till next time, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes.